Hello everybody, I'm Joshino, and today I'm going to do a channel update about what's been going on with my channel, what I'm doing next week, and also doing a Q&A for the one I did quite a little while ago. If you do want a question answered, be sure to put it down in the comment section below. You can put hashtag AskJoshino as that usually gets my attention more than just the normal comments, and I'll try to answer it the best I can. Now, just on my channel, the past 5 days I haven't done any videos, and honestly I've been in a bit of a down spiral, and I've really stressed myself out and not put anything out. The reason for this is actually not a bad thing, it's a positive thing. So I got invited to go along with MSI to Taipei to Computex, which is a massive technology fair, and there's a lot of things being announced there and released that are worth checking out, especially on the PC gaming front. So I'm stoked for that, and I'm going tomorrow, so it's going to be amazing. But the problem on my end is that I put so much pressure on myself and tried to get as much video work done as possible before I went away that I ended up not doing anything and keep leaving it and beating myself up more about not doing anything, that I got into a complete downward spiral and honestly just fizzled out. And I've not been in as bad a rut as this for a very long time, and I've just had to reserve myself to the fact that I'm going to Taipei, I'm being taken over there, I'm going to Taiwan, and it's going to be amazing, and I just have to focus on the positives. And I'm just so sorry that I haven't got anything out the past few days, and I've just not been in a good place. My biggest problem is I don't currentendly own a laptop, and I don't have one to take out with me to Taipei, so I can't do anything whilst I'm there. So I've worried so much about not having anything to do in this week that I ended up not doing anything last week, and it's not been good, to be quite honest. I just hope people can understand, but I also understand if you don't. Anyway, again, the good news is I'm going to Taipei. I'm being taken over there. I generally just didn't expect to have this sort of opportunity again, like I didn't with Austin, Texas. I just wouldn't have been able to do that myself, and this is amazing. From what I can tell, Taipei is a beautiful city and one of the centers for technology. And just generally, it's awesome being invited over there, and I can't wait to taste the food, try out the local cuisine, everything like that. I'll be sure to do a travel vlog and things like that, and cover the stuff that MSI want me to cover as well, and I'll get something out when I get back. But anyway, let's get on with the questions you asked me last time. Now, if you do want to ask some questions again, just be sure to put them in the comments section below. You can put hashtag AskJoshino, which a lot of people did, but it doesn't really matter either way as long as there's a question there. So Guido Lafarga says, hashtag AskJoshino, how much do you think Xbox Paladins will do? Also, do you think there's ever going to be a Torvald skin with a troll face? Cough cough. So actually, since this comment, the Xbox version had launched, and it actually seems to be doing quite well. Between the two console versions, there's 2 million unique players, that just means 2 million downloads, but that's fairly decent for a release in this time frame. There's like more than 10 million players on the PC version as well. I think just generally everything seems to be going quite well at the moment. Will there be a Torvald troll face skin? I mean, that could work actually, thinking about Torvald. It'd be hilarious to see like the troll face animated when he does the it's working, and pushing them out, like just to see the face scrunch up into a ridiculous meme face. Riyad Kadroy asked Joshino, will you ever do a vlog sometime, like one time every 1 or 2 weeks? So I tried to do a Ask Joshino every fortnight, although this one has been a bit later. And I do live streams now where people ask me questions and I sort of answer them more limitedly. So I don't know whether I'll do a vlog in that way. Maybe in the future, maybe when I get into the swing of things, maybe I could do something a bit more personal. Duck asked Joshino, hey mate, if you were to choose a character to get a major revamp, who would it be? Personally, I think it's Skye, just because she's never been in a good spot. All the new players find her annoying to go against, and she sort of wrecks up in new games, but she's almost useless in the high skill matches. So a general rework of Skye's mechanics, especially because the stealth in the game isn't that useful, and the stealth mechanic in that you can see people close up doesn't really work out, and if you had complete stealth it'd probably be really annoying in the game. So I just don't know whether the stealth works currently in Paladins the way the devs wanted it to. It kind of works more on Sarah's and Charlene, who don't use it as a primary function, but on Skye, who is only stealthing, it doesn't seem to work out, and it's just been a problem for a long time. Godly Games 746, you watch esports, right? Also, what do you think of the burrito skin for Charlene? He's my favourite damage. So the burrito skin was pretty cool, especially now they've got the guys like Sleepy, NTBs, and that lot on the new burrito team. Pretty awesome. And yeah, I do watch esports whenever I can, just generally because it's good to see how they play the game, how the team plays the game together, and ultimately, Vox Rainday and all the other guys put on a very good show. Alyssa, ask Joshino, is the Paladins Founders Pack worth it? Will it be useful in the long run? I don't know, Cryface with a cat face. Honestly, it's just up to you whether you feel that unlocking the champions will be worth it. Personally, I did actually buy the Founders Pack with my own money at the start of the game. So if that gives you an indication of my feelings on it, there's that. But honestly, just how much money you have, whether or not you're going to be playing lots of Paladins is going to be the answer, really. But the Founders Pack is pretty good in generally just getting all the characters out and playing everybody. Davinesh Kapoor, when did you first start playing Paladins? Well, I actually played in the closed beta a very long time ago. I'm not sure how long ago it was, when it was a very, very different game. I didn't actually play that long. I didn't particularly love the game back then, and it was very clunky, and a lot of the ways the maps were massive meant that engagements were a bit odd. And because the mounting system you remounted on your horse, on your mount, it was also another thing that was a bit clunky in the game. And I did enjoy it when I played it, but I did fizzle out and then dropped it, and then came back in the open beta where I really got into it and I thought the game was a lot more polished. Even if it had sacrificed some of the things that were a bit more out there, maybe some of those things could be brought back in slowly in like some of the game modes. Sasha V. Balderun, ask Joshino anything, what do you think about the State of PlanetSide do? Do you plan to play again? I was planning to play again just before the implant system dropped, and bear in mind at the time there was some controversy and drama in Paladins about the Essence system, and I just couldn't be bothered to go back when the implant system drops, which was just like a pay to win model. Maybe it wasn't pay to win, but basically you paid a lot of money, you didn't get a lot out of it, and from what I could tell, everybody just didn't like the system that was put in, and I just didn't want to get involved in that flurry of controversy again. Maybe I'll go back to it in the near future, but I don't have any plans like right now to do it, especially seeing as I'm going away for a week. Quinn Deed says, do you miss out on money if people have an ad blocker enabled? I do technically from the YouTube ad revenue. If you have ad block enabled, it'll block all the ads on YouTube and I won't get anything from it. I'm never going to ask anybody to turn on or off their ad blocker or their software, and it's always going to be up to you. Just the bottom line. Yehuda Purat says, can you upload some gameplay? No concepts or scripts, just some live commentary. So I already do live gameplay, and I do try and comment as much as I can over it, and give as many tips as I can if I'm playing okay. And not always playing my best. As part of the parcel, we're doing some live stuff. But also I'm doing something similar with my Game Grader series, which I'm hopefully going to get a video out maybe during the trip, but that's trying to be really overcritical about games and give live commentary over the gameplay and sort of pause it at places just to give more tips as well. So hopefully, XX Paradise Foundation XX says, what grok line is your favorite? So mine's like the one where he goes, I am blue, double D, double die. I can't remember exactly what he says because it's like obviously worded so it doesn't get the copyright infringement, but I always find that one funny. Korshik Jizenkar says, Joshino, you should make some top 10s. So the thing is, I did try to make top 10 plays before, but it was so hard getting people to send me gameplay. Like, it's quite hard to get people to send me games in this current Game Grader thing. I've got actually like 6 games sent to me that I can use, so hopefully you can work with those, but still it's hard to get lots of people to send you stuff. Mini Queenie Games says, I have a small idea, might help with the loadouts thing. I really loved your Makoa loadout video and I've been playing with it tons and having fun with that, which has actually been outdated now because they nerfed the Makoa shield build. She would like to see more of that. Maybe you could set up a poll to let people vote on it and the winner would be the one that you make the video about. Maybe. Well, I just don't know. Just an idea. Anyway, love your vids, lol. That was a nice message. I have thought about doing more loadouts. Like I did the Tyra Vampire loadout. That was actually just a fun one. I mean, maybe I could do votes on it, but then that would mean I'd have to think of all the ideas first and then put them up and see who voted on them. I don't know, it could work, I guess, and it's something that probably I need to do. It might be easy content to put out as well, doing loadout stuff. So that could be fun. Soul says, which champion's backstory do you want to hear most? So Pyras obviously have said that lore is coming very soon. I think that the one that hinges a lot on is Androxus, because he's killed a god and because he's cursed. You just wonder what's happened to him and how much of a piece in the story he tells. Is there like a set of gods? Has he completely disrupted the balance of the gods in this world? It's quite an interesting one to go off. Porn.com, do you have channels you watch yourself? If so, what do you like to watch? So because I put so much time into my own YouTube channel, I don't watch an awful lot of other stuff on YouTube, but usually it's less of like watching one channel and more of watching something that comes out on a certain topic. Like if some sort of technology comes out, I'll watch that, or if there's some sort of thing happening or like an event in the world. But I do watch a lot of Ethan and Healer, so H3H3 Productions, just because they're such lovely people and yeah, I just enjoy their content. British Boy, are you going to set up a Patreon? I'm sure a lot of us would support you. I do already have a Patreon, and it's in the description below. If you do want to support me, it's always massively appreciated, and thank you to everybody that has supported me already. Somebody actually donated $99 on the other month, and that was just a huge boost for me, because actually that month was when I had the big problem, because basically when YouTube had the problem with the ads and ad companies all left, I had like almost 30% of my revenue just gone, just because no ads were running on my videos. So it was actually a massive help, so thank you to everybody. Bolin Volavon asked you, do you like sports like football, and do you plan on uploading any other games? So sports, I've never been sporty in my life. I used to play rugby a little bit, but not really for me. I'll go to a football match, and as long as I have a few beers, I'll be happy as Larry. But I'm not really a massive sports fan. I do like watching esports, but it's a bit different to, well, I mean, it's not different to real sports at all, really. It's still just competition. And do I plan to upload other games? I do. And I always say, yes, I need to upload other games, but it's always hard moving across and getting something meaningful out. Usually if I try and play another game, I'll hopefully do like a VOD or like a live stream sort of thing, or like a let's play usually, and just going over the game generally and my thoughts on it quickly. Godot, you really remind me of Dry Bear. Are you his son? I don't think I look that much like Dry Bear, but I can confirm that I'm not his son, seeing as we're born in different parts of the world, unfortunately. And I think he's not actually that much older than me. Is he like 30? I'm not sure. Daniel Berry says, hashtag ask Joshino anything. Serious question, and I'm curious to know. Looking through all of the characters in Paladins, the females always seem to show a lot of cleavage, a lot of skin showing. Of course, it is obvious that some aren't, like Knessa, Tyra, and Maeve. What do you think about this? The problem I have with this sort of idea of sexualization in characters and video games and things is that a lot of the time the sexualization happens when it gets to the person that's playing the game. When you hear a feminist talk about the game, they'll talk about the characters being over-sexualized because they see the sexualization in there. If you talk to somebody that doesn't agree with that, they won't see the sexualization at all. But to me, that's sort of the point. The sexualization is all done by the person sitting behind the screen, and ideas of what's sexy isn't exactly the same for all people. Everybody has different fetishes and desires on different shapes of women or men or anything. Anyway, those were all of the questions. Again, sorry for the lack of content the past few days. I want to type A, so I'm happy about that. I'm not gonna lie, I need to just get into the right frame of mind, be positive, Joshino, and positivo Tivino. I gave it a shot. It backfired. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more of my content, and I'll see you all next time. Joshino.